Hello, everyone. Can I please get your attention? Starting the events now. Um, yeah, those who don't know me, my name is Corbin Mijandi. I will be your MC today. I'll try my best. I'm trying not to stuff it up. Um, Before we start, please be careful of power cords behind near the trees because they are a hazard. Um, and there are toilets on the where I'm pointing. So if anyone wants to use the toilet, you'll notice it down there. Um, our program today is that we will start the traditional smoking ceremony, and then we'll have formal speeches. Then we'll have the actual handback and photos at the end, and then barbecue. So if you want to stick around, have some sausages and stuff, you're welcome. Uh, so I will start by acknowledging the VIP guests today. Um, Please forgive me if I get your name wrong. Today we have the Honourable Ken White, Minister for Indigenous Affairs. The Honourable Susan Lee, the Minister of Environment. Mr. Sammy Bush Lanazi, the Chairman of the Northern Land Council. Northern Territory Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, the Honourable Selena Ubo. The Director of the National Parks, and other distinguished guests. On behalf of my people, the Mirara traditional owners, I welcome you all to Mirara country today. We will now start the ceremony. Mana Nyumo. Thank you, Mom, for doing the smoke ceremony. We will now have the formal part of the day. I invite the Minister of Indigenous Affairs to come up. Again, we will have like formal photo at the end.
Thank you very much. In Yunga language, I say Kaya Wanju, hello and welcome. As a Yunga man, it's great to be on Mirror Country and back here again for my second time. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting today, the Mirror people, and pay my respects to elders, past, present and emerging. It's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon to celebrate Aboriginal culture and land, your deep past and enduring presence in this country. I want to thank Yvonne and other senior traditional owners for welcoming the Minister for the Environment, the Honourable Susan Ley, and I to Jabiru. I also want to acknowledge all other members of the Territory Parliament and my fellow colleagues from the Federal Parliament. The Australian Government is pleased to be investing $276 million to support the Mirror people's vision to make Jabiru a world-class tourism destination. And I want to congratulate the Mirror people on this outstanding accomplishment. Your patience, tenacity and strength of character has led to this moment, and you should be proud of your achievements. I remember when Prime Minister Whitlam and Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser both commissioned inquiries into the mine that eventuated, and after 13,500 pages, the decision was, we've listened, but we are going to proceed with the mine. And that's what happened. Your success demonstrates the importance of partnerships in delivering real and practical outcomes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. I want to acknowledge the key partners that are assisting the Mirror people, the Northern Land Council, Goonjin Aboriginal Corporation, the Garbolak Macman Limited, the Northern Territory Government, which is investing $135.5 million, the Parks Australia and National Indigenous Australians Agency and Energy Resources of Australia. The granting of Jabiru as Aboriginal land and a new township lease is truly a monumental moment in the history of land rights in this country. Our gathering today has delivered justice to the Mirror people. I am honoured that I can play a small part in repairing the past. It has been a long journey to this point, but a new beginning is upon us. We are here to celebrate what the future can bring and will bring. The Mirror people have a comprehensive master plan to transform the local economy away from mining into a world-class tourism destination with service industries supporting economic growth in the region. Taking ownership of Jabiru and the township lease means the traditional owners will now be in control of decisions that affect their land. This has many benefits. Land security brings economic security. It also brings back the cultural security and strength that always prevailed. The Mirror people can build a prosperous community and provide opportunities for others living in the region. Ownership of the land has finally been recognised, so the traditional owners are now free to live and express their culture with certainty. This foundation to secure a long-term future that will deliver real benefits for generations to come. I want to make special mention of Goonjin Aboriginal Corporation, the Jabiru town that holds the Jabiru township lease. I know that you will deliver for the people and the businesses of Jabiru and will be a shining example to other groups seeking to copy your success. This moment is about not those who live today, but our grandchildren and great-grandchildren who will come after. That is the legacy that will prevail. The Mirror people have walked this country for tens of thousands of years and have never relinquished their ownership of that land, nor their culture, nor their ways of practice. Thank you for inviting us here today, and it is an incredible, humbling privilege to be here for the handing back of the title to your country. Thank you.
Now we will hear from the senior traditional owner, my auntie Yvonne, and her sisters. Or you want to stand?
Make sure the cameraman has it.
Sorry.
Anh lúc đó hoài. Hello everybody, I'm Yvonne Magrula, I'm additional owner. But I like to speak to my language, but I welcome you, my nephew, the Corbin, you welcome already. But thank you for coming, a lot of people. But I have to talk to my language and I speak, like when you hear me. All right. Kamak bari mom na rin again, then we got kanim ardur committee. Jawat man ni gun red na ribol kun diwe. Mani at pere, na kon gumat pere kan polki wakwam. Well, thank you, would better money me. Jamarangan ko yang walki.
I want to thank everybody who has been working with us to assist us to have this land returned to us. This land was left to us by our ancestors, and now it comes back to us again. I don't want to give a long speech today, just to keep it short.
When I yung mak min bugon red at pere ari bol kundi we. Thank you, ngawan mani menang ari jak duk miraj mak land council na kandi bitigar yang at pere ja bari wen mak kandi bitigar yang. Jal poin bol ke bunga wokti ja minister gumwam ganda. Say thank you bununga and Susan Lee. I thank you for manigun redken.
This is a happy day for us. We have very good feelings about today. I just want to formally thank the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs and the Minister for the Environment, Susan Lee, for coming here today and all of the hard work that they have done to make this possible.
Ma boy, thank you, everybody.
There are more speakers. The next is the chairman of the Northern Land Council, Sammy Bush Blanazi, to come talk.
Oh. Is it right to lift it up? I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners, past, present and emerging. Well, some people don't know who I am. I'm Sammy Bush Blanazi from Beswick, the chair of Northern Land Council. Minister, I acknowledge the Minister, Ken White, Minister for Environment, Susan Lee, Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, Lena Ubo, our Canberra representative here, Warren Snowden, Barbara McCarthy, Mayor Matthew Ryan for West Arnhem Regional Council, Mayor Vic Daly, Brian Padwell, also an executive member for the Northern Land Council, my executive member, I think they're all here, and the people of Jabiru. Today we gather on Mirarr country alongside senior traditional owner, my granny Yvonne, and the Mirarr family, another clan from Kakadu region. And of course, resident of the Jabiru, who celebrate a great event, the return of a land Jabiru sits on to its traditional owner, the Mirarr people. We will hear more on the importance of this moment, but I and fellow NLC members are proud to be part of the rightful handback of this land to the Mirarr people. Recognising of their land and ownership under Balanda law. It has always been their land. This is the first time that the land, not already part of the Aboriginal Land Right Act, estate has been returned to traditional owner for them to manage as a town, to be central to what happened on their land. I thank the Mirarr for allowing us to share this significant milestone with the wider community, and I acknowledge their journey and connection to this country as the regional custodian. I also like all of us to stop for one moment and remember these traditional owners that have passed, and they can be proud that the Mirarr family have worked to make this moment happen today. I would also like to especially mention my CEO, Marion Scrimmager, and our recently passed NLC member for Kakadu, Mr. John Christopherson. Both work hard to support the Mirarr, but also ensure the Mirarr, the Kakadu Aboriginal Land Trust and the NLC Full Council can be confident to have a solid township lease agreement. Today's a day for celebration. It's a long speech, but anyway. It is the first time in Australia that an existing town has been translated to a town on Aboriginal land. Without traditional owners, I think I read this apart, I think. I'm confusing myself now. Oh? I didn't read that part. My boy. I did. We have negotiated an important remediation agreement with the Commonwealth, supported by Minister Lee. Thank you very much. To ensure that town-related environmental liability from the last 40 years are a government responsibility. Now, all Mirarr land is reconnected as an Aboriginal land and always will be. Before I finish him up, I want to thank Minister White. Thank you. Minister Lee, you have shown that what a leadership and courage is all about. Congratulations to you all and thank you. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is the Minister for the Environment, Honourable Susan Lee.
Thank you very much. May I firstly pay my respects to the Mirarr people, to Yvonne and her family who are here today and who represent in an extraordinary way 40 years of history when this mine began in a blaze of controversy. And here we are at a handing back ceremony involving Ken Wyatt, my colleague, First Minister for Indigenous Australians, and all of you. I know that in my time coming to learn and understand Kakadu and this broader region, what has impressed me so much has been the pride and the respect for country. And that shines through, and that will be the guiding light for the ceremony we have in another 40 years. So different from the ceremony that happened 40 years ago, which will celebrate in a positive and respectful way what Indigenous history and culture can show the Australian community and the wider world, and the learnings and the lessons that will be much more profound, demonstrating that profound obligation that Indigenous Australians have for their country that we don't really understand, but we need to. And I spoke, Yvonne, to your family this morning, and I think I capture the message. A lot of people and a lot of words. But today we get our country back. And my commitment from the Commonwealth is that we will continue to work with you for the challenges ahead as we transition Jabiru from a mining town to a tourism town, but also to the gateway to the World Heritage listed Kakadu National Park that brings together that pride, that respect, and that obligation. We are here with you for the long journey ahead. Thank you.
The final speaker for today is the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, representing the Chief Minister, Selina Yubo.
What a cracker dry season day it is today. So I hope everyone is enjoying the beautiful weather that Jabiru and Kakadu is putting on for us today. It is an absolutely historic day to be here celebrating with our traditional owners, the Mirarr people. Thank you, Yvonne, to you and your family for your leadership, for your custodianship, and remembering that our elders, past, present, are not doing any of this for themselves. They're doing all of this for the future of Jabiru, the future of the Mirarr, the future generations who will walk this country, who will lead this country, and who will continue to fight for this country. Thank you to our dancers this morning, and of course to the smoking ceremony as well, which obviously has significance when we're talking about beginnings, we're talking about cleansing, but above all, we're talking about looking towards the future, but never forgetting the past. Our Mirarr people have been the custodians of this country for thousands of years and generations. And today marks that historic moment which will ensure that the Mirarr continue to be the custodians for thousands of generations onwards. Thank you to Minister White, Minister Lay, Senator Mullindiri McCarthy, our federal member for Lingiari, the Honourable Warren Snowden, and also my parliamentary colleague, the local member for Arafura, Mr. Lawrence Costa, for being here to share in this historic day. Banga Sami, our Northern Land Council Chair. Thank you to the Northern Land Council for helping to drive this, to working with the wishes of Mirarr through the Gundjami Aboriginal Corporation to ensure that today's handback is possible. And as Sammy mentioned, we also like to acknowledge Miss Marion Scrimgeour, the Chief Executive Officer of the Northern Land Council, for all the work that she has done in this space. And Marion was also a local member, as was I, for this beautiful area. I was able to represent Jabiru and Kakadu for 4 years as the member for Arnhem. My loss, unfortunately, is Lawrence's gain, and I know that he continues to advocate very strongly as the member for Arafura for the people, not only in Jabiru, but also the Binning in the Kakadu area, and particularly in our beautiful homelands amongst Kakadu and the amazing landscape. And we can only just look out here and enjoy some of that amazing history and culture, which we are celebrating with today's special event. Minister White, thank you to you and your department and your government for coming to this agreement, to recognising that ownership for traditional owners, and to ensuring that this handback does indeed happen. When our Northern Territory Labor government first was elected in 2016, it was one of our Chief Minister Michael Gunner's very first commitments, was to ensure that the Territory Labor government was advocating and fighting for the rights of Jabiru and Kakadu, the people and the future in it. We wanted to invest in Jabiru, and there's something that we have indeed done, and we will continue to do. Our aims are to support those strong visions and that leadership from the Mirarr traditional owners to ensure that post-mining Jabiru and Kakadu has a long-term future. And some of the areas which we are very excited to see further develop in terms of a tourism hub here, providing economic aspirations, the stability and the future opportunities that are needed in this amazing part of the world. The social benefits that will be seen by our traditional owners and the binning in Kakadu, and of course stretches over to the people across the West Arnhem region. And that is something we are very proud to support and continue to support. As Minister Wyatt mentioned, the Territory Labor Government has already started to work on rolling out our investment of $135 million, looking at the infrastructure, the essential services for Jabiru Township, the service hub that it provides for the homelands of Kakadu and its people. A new power station, a new health clinic, upgraded broadband services, just to name a few of the large infrastructure projects which will be so critical in this region. And of course, a special mention and a thank you to the residents of Jabiru, past and present. We know that this work will benefit not just yourselves, but the many thousands of tourists who come to the World Heritage listed Kakadu each and every year to listen and to learn from Mira and Binning, the culture, to share in that history and language, but above all to respect and to support those future aspirations. Kakadu is indeed a special place, and the rest of the world knows this. And I do thank the Australian government for its commitment to invest over $200 million into Kakadu, which is much needed, as we know. And while there have been changes to Parks Australia, we cannot afford any more situations like we had at Gunlam Falls. The wishes of Kakadu traditional owners must always come first. They must always be respected and supported. We must always respect the sacred lands that we are all privileged to be able to enjoy, and support the traditional owners to ensure that those sacred lands are indeed protected. And that's what joint management is all about. Today is historic. It is days like today that absolutely make me extremely proud to be a Territorian. The return of Aboriginal ownership for an entire town like beautiful Jabiru is an Australian first for the people of Jabiru, the whole region, and particularly the work of our Mira traditional owners. Thank you to all who've been involved, not only in today, but the many months, the many years to see today's come to fruition. Our Territory Labor Government continue to look forward to supporting the future aspirations of Jabiru, the Mira traditional owners, and the Kakadu Binning residents to ensure that indeed the future is bright for Jabiru and Kakadu. Congratulations, and please enjoy this historic day.
Alrighty then, thank you, Selena. That completes our program today. We will now have photo, and everyone is welcome to stay back and obviously enjoy the barbie. So thank you very much.
Everybody look up, everybody smile. Big smile, happy day. And again, big smile. Fantastic. is 20 cents. And one more. Last one, promise. Sorry.
Right, so this now gives back traditional land to the traditional owners. This certificate means it's yours again forever.
We're ready when you are,
That's
Mr.
it. I'll pull it this way. You want to pull it this way.
Pull it this way.
Yeah, pull it over this way.
Okay.
Right, let's unveil. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Where the? Oh.